Hey there, YouTubers. Thanks for stopping by today. Getting ready to record a spiritual almanac for Tuesday, February 9th. We have some pretty cool stuff for you today. We're going to be starting off with a piece from a 13th century Beguine mystic. And what is really cool about this piece is that it speaks to, really all the things that matter to the mystics. It's a very prototypical piece of mystic literature in that it addresses this quest that they have, this like desire for union with God, and it speaks about their love of God. And I think what's really fascinating is that the way they express that love in their writing comes across with kind of a romantic tone, maybe even a little bit of an erotic tone. And this poem today, it's a short poem, but it definitely has that quality to it. So, if you like erotic literature, you're going to enjoy it. And if you don't, you're going to enjoy it too. For spiritual nuggets today, we have some interesting things. I think the most interesting thing, honestly, is that it was on this day in '64 that the Beatles appeared on the Ed Sullivan Show and really kicked off this whole Beatlemania thing, right? And then a few years later, of course, John Lennon made his, controversial statement about being more popular than Jesus. And, we're going to talk a little bit about the ramifications of that statement and the Vatican's reaction to that statement 40 years later. So it's pretty interesting, and you're going to want to stick around for that. All right. Well, let me get set up and let's kick off the podcast. All right. Welcome to a spiritual almanac. It's Tuesday, February 9th. Although we don't know many details about the life of the 13th century mystic Hadewijch, it's believed she served as the head of a Beguine house in Belgium. But she encountered resistance there and left the house for the life of a spiritual wanderer. Like many Beguines, Hadewijch was a poet and mystic, and her writing reflects her deep commitment to mystic spirituality. Since her rediscovery in the 1800s, she's been recognized as one of the greatest Flemish poets of the medieval period. For our inspiration today, we're looking at a piece that speaks to the mystic's experience of God's love and their relentless pursuit of divine union, a pursuit that often mimics the experience of romantic or even erotic love. It's a short poem titled Love Has Subjugated Me. Love has subjugated me. To me, this is no surprise, for she's strong and I'm weak. She makes me unfree of myself, continually against my will. She does with me what she wishes. Nothing of myself remains to me. Formerly I was rich. Now I'm poor. Everything is lost in love. Some more spiritual nuggets for today. On this day in 1918, the U.S. Army Chaplain School was founded in Fort Monroe, Virginia. The school was the brainchild of Chaplain Major Aldred Pruden, and it emerged from a need to train chaplains for the sudden influx of troops serving in World War I. On February 9th, the War Department approved Pruden's plan, and the school began its first session less than a month later. Today, the Army's Chaplain Corps features more than 2,700 chaplains of multiple faiths. The chaplains are commissioned officers who are assisted by enlisted soldiers with special training. In addition to leading religious services, the Chaplain Corps is responsible for counseling and providing moral support to the troops in both peacetime and war. And on this day in 1964, the Beatles made their first American appearance on The Ed Sullivan Show. They drew more than 73 million viewers, and the event marked the beginning of the group's meteoric rise in the U.S. 2 years later, John Lennon commented to an interviewer that the Beatles had become, quote, more popular than Jesus. His statement set off a firestorm of controversy, drawing criticism from the Christian community and resulting in the refusal of more than 30 radio stations to play Beatles songs on their airwaves, mostly in the South. In 2008, the Vatican published an article on the 40th anniversary of the Beatles' White Album, addressing Lennon's "more popular than Jesus" remark. In the article, the Vatican said, "The remark, which triggered deep indignation, mainly in the United States, after many years sounds only like a boast by a young working-class Englishman faced with unexpected success after growing up in the legend of Elvis and rock and roll." And finally, today's happy thought comes to us from the writer and beat poet, Jack Kerouac. He said, "Practice kindness all day to everybody, and you'll realize you're already in heaven now." Thanks, Jack. Good advice. And that's today's Spiritual Almanac. For additional reading, see Hadewijch, The Complete Works. There's a link in the description and on our website. A Spiritual Almanac is a production of Granola Soul. You can find a text version of today's episode, Hadewijch's Love Has Subjugated Me, and other resources at our website, granolasoul.com. Thanks for listening. Be kind, take good care, and I'll see you tomorrow.